Right, first things first.
Yes. Chest pump. Get naked. We doing this naked?
Oh my God, what? No. First things first. My Design. My Design.
Yes.
The guy that did our graphics.
Yeah.
Who-
Oh, we started again now.
Yeah, we're starting now.
God.
Yeah, the naked bit's going in.
Oh God.
You're so nervous, aren't you?
Yeah.
I love it when it's just the two of us.
Oh, I don't like it.
No, Matt Young.
Yes.
Great graphic designer.
Absolutely.
Done our graphic designs.
Yes.
Your face is coming soon.
Wow.
Everyone should use him, and they can find him by searching My Design on the internet.
I mean,
You know the internet, that thing?
It's a box, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, yeah. You have to be very gentle with it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, brilliant.
My Design.
My Design.
My Design.
Yes.
I think we've plugged it. Have we done it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we
Cool.
get on with the podcast?
Yes, let's do it.
Welcome to Nerds Chatting, movie, TV, comic chat. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome everybody to the Nerdschatting podcast. My name is Nate, and with me today is my very good friend JB. Hey,
Hello.
how you doing?
Hi. Just me today.
I interrupted you as you were saying hello.
Yeah, but I thought you were going to stop.
I know, I didn't. I'm really bad. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
We've had a tough day today.
We have. For people who don't know, we work together a lot, and that's not the bad thing. That's the good thing. But we work with a lot of morons as well.
Yeah.
But we won't mention them.
No.
Everyone we work with closely is very nice and kind, and we like them a lot.
Yeah. Done. We're not going to talk about it now.
No.
Because we're having some fun.
Yeah, this is Nerds Chatting.
Yes, it is.
We are nerds, we are chatting, we talk about movies and TV shows and films and comic books and all things nerdy. I think I said movies and films. I think they're the same thing.
Yeah. Though I was having a conversation with someone. Do you call it, when you go to the cinema, do you call it cinema, movies, or pictures?
Ooh, cinema.
Yeah, I called it the movies yesterday.
So quite an American thing.
Yeah, hey, let's go to the movies.
Yeah.
No, I want to go to the cinema.
And the pictures, go to the pictures, is like our parents said that.
Yeah, but then we've got the picture house.
Oh, yeah?
So,
yeah.
But yeah, I think it's definitely an older term.
Yeah. I quite like the phrase movies, though.
Yeah,
But then that's linked to pictures because it's moving pictures.
it is.
Yeah, films. Wow.
Wow.
We've gone off topic.
Well, just a little bit.
So today's topic is Solo. Solo came out last week, and
Yes.
we've both seen it. And we've got a review from Ben. He has
Yes.
recorded a review. Or the only amount of that I've listened to is not even a minute snippet to make sure the audio worked. So what we'll do is we'll listen to it live, and I'll edit in the file.
Okay.
And then we can react to his reaction.
Okay, so we're going to listen to his thing first, and then we're going to talk?
Yeah.
Or we're going to talk and then let Ben come in at the end?
Well, I mean, my ideal scenario would be he doesn't talk at all because, you know.
Agreed.
Yeah, what a loser. But I think we probably should put him in first.
Let's do it, because he's not here. Let's do it,
But before that,
Yep.
should we do some broken news?
Let's...
Broken news.
So this is broken news. It's not breaking. It's so old it's already broken. There's a few things on here. One thing we're going to skip over, but we'll talk about the first thing. Top Gun, Maverick,
Yes.
as it's called.
Goose,
Yeah.
Viper, whatever. Just say all the cool
I know,
stuff.
it's
so
great.
exciting.
What we were talking about, it was Viper and Cougar. And anyway, the point of this, Tom Cruise posted a picture on his Twitter that said, "I feel the need," and it was him wearing his
Flight uniform.
flight suit. Yes,
Had his
exactly.
helmet in
Yeah,
his
he
hand,
did.
didn't he, with
Walking towards a plane. Was it a cat? Was it a tomcat or was it? I don't know if it was or not.
It's not his original plane, which I
Right.
thought was an F-18, but I could be wrong.
F-14, I believe.
Oh wow! Look at you
Yeah,
getting the numbers.
yeah.
You're always
Hang
good
on.
with the numbers.
Hang on a sec. Let's do this live. Let's go on Twitter. Tom.
Oh my god! You're actually
Cruise.
typing. Do
Yeah,
I need
yeah.
to? Do I need to do a filler? Listeners, you're now on hold.
Oh no! Do you know what? You're right. It's not his original plane. That's like an F-22 or something.
I don't think
That's
they
like
make
a new
them
one.
anymore.
No.
So anyway, but
Yeah.
are you excited about this?
I'm really excited about this
Why?
because it looks great. It doesn't. I mean, I've had one picture because I love Top Gun.
I know, but I love Point Break, and then they brought out Point Break again.
Yeah, but they remade it rather than a sequel, or is this a
Yeah,
sequel?
that's a good point. Actually, that was a bit stupid. But
No, I see what you're saying. It's a modern version, right?
yeah, what are we going to do differently? Do you think Maverick's going to become the Viper, and he's going to be the
Yeah.
head of Miramar?
Yeah, definitely.
Miramar. Oh, I'd love to go there.
I haven't seen any negativity towards this one image. Everyone's just gone like, woohoo! Yes! Oh!
They need to do some good things though.
Yeah, I know. But it's Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is so likable. It's going to
Yes.
be good, right?
Yep. I hope it is.
I say he's likable. I mean, he is crazy. He is nuttier than a fruitcake, but he's
Scientologist,
charismatic.
isn't he?
Yeah. But he's charismatic on
Yeah,
screen. So
he's good. I like him as an actor. Can't name that many bad films he's done?
The Mummy was pretty poor.
I've not seen that, but
Don't.
but that's one out of.
Many.
I mean, Days of Thunder,
Oh,
amazing.
love it. Yeah.
Mine are-
Well, that was going to. We did say Tony Scott directed Top Gun and Days
Yeah.
of Thunder. He's sadly died.
Yes, he did.
So he's not going to be directing this. It's
It's Brockheim still, isn't it?
he's producing it. It's Joseph Kosinski, I think his name is, who
Good.
did Tron Legacy and something else recently,
Right.
which I like, and it's good. He's a good one to have.
I want some good one-liners in this new film.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Need for Speed, Great
Yeah.
Balls of Fire, etc., etc.
flying rubber dog shit out of Hong Kong.
Nice.
I can't remember it, but it's something about your mind's writing checks that your body can't cash.
Yeah.
I mean, what? Can you imagine bringing that up in a meeting or at work sometime?
Oh, yeah.
You're out of control.
Yeah.
Flying inverted.
Yeah, The Bird. Do you know The Bird?
Yeah, I do know the bird, yeah. Requesting the flyby.
Yeah. I want all of it back.
Ooh, Viper's dead.
Yeah, I want all of those comments.
Yes.
I want shoehorned in. And when it happens, I want everyone to cheer every
Yeah,
time.
brilliant.
But I don't know why it's okay for me to want that. Like, if someone said to you, "Oh, they're making Back to the Future 4," you'd be like, "Oh, shut up."
That's probably because some of the Back to the Future sequels were a bit rubbish, and they basically followed the same theme all the way
Oh,
through.
yeah, no, I love Back to the Future.
I didn't say I didn't. Back to the Future is amazing.
Well, I like the third one a lot. Second one's a bit.
I quite like the second one, didn't like the third one.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah,
Fair-
well-
okay, so your point is made that
Yeah.
2 and 3 are interchangeable whether they're good or
And
not.
when has a sequel been better than the first?
Oh, this is an age-old question, isn't it? Godfather 2, Terminator 2.
Oh, yes. 2. RoboCop 2?
No.
No way, how no?
No. Some of the Marvel movies, but then they're kind of different because they're long. They're not really sequels. They're. Yeah. Anyway, should we stop talking about this one image?
I don't know, because we've talked a long time.
I
I've
reckon we
enjoyed
could
it.
do a whole pod just on this one image.
Yeah, we could.
Right, moving on. Another little bit of nostalgia. There was a full trailer for Crystal Robin.
Yeah.
It looks great.
I think it looks really cool.
Made me smile. Like, it made me smile in a way that I couldn't stop myself from smiling. You know, it was like from somewhere deep inside me. I was like, oh, that is cute. That really does.
I quite like the way that they've animated the characters, because they look quite not old. That's not the word I'm looking for.
The classic style,
Yeah,
right?
that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Do you know
Thank
what?
you.
I was speaking to Lloyd, the cinema manager
Yeah.
of where I go to the cinema in Oakhampton, and he was saying about it because I was talking about it with him. What a genius merchandising move, and this is Lloyd's point, not mine, I should say.
Right.
Because now Disney own all of it. Now they can sell toys of the classic design and the cartoon design.
Yeah.
It's doubled their profits straight away. What a genius move!
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I think the only downside to me is I love Ewan McGregor, but I don't love his English accent. Too much.
He is doing Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Yeah,
isn't
it's like me doing a really posh English accent, and all of it is too overemphasized.
he? Yeah, I mean, in his defence, I would say that's on purpose for American audiences, I think.
Probably.
I know that when he was in Beauty and the Beast and he played Lumiere, well, his wife is French, so he can speak French fluently. He apparently has a very good French accent. Spent a lot of his life, in company of French people. However, he started doing his accent that he normally would do, and they were like, no. You need to do like the ramped up to 10, 11.
Oh, you're
like,
joking,
So
really?
that's why he does the accent that
The
he does in
caricature?
there. Exactly,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So I think they've probably done the same thing. It's Disney again saying, look, can you just do, the quintessential classic English accent?
So does that mean that if we want to crack America, that we need to start speaking in really posh ways?
Golly gosh, James, I think you might be right.
Hold on there, Nathan.
Yes, no, exactly, yeah. I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I don't think so. But it might be worth
Hey,
a
we're,
try.
we're fairly well spoken.
Yeah. We're from the southwest. Well, you are, because you're from Billericay, aren't you?
I'm originally from Billericay, yeah.
And I
in
don't
Essex.
think I necessarily have a southwest
No,
twang.
and I don't have an Essex twang, do I?
No.
Oh, mate, innit?
No,
Yeah,
you definitely-
wicked.
You don't do that.
No, I
at
don't,
all.
no.
Though I got my Devonshire twang, I can't say. I have to really think about it. Lightning.
Yeah, you said the other day, didn't
If I
you?
say
Yeah.
if I say it properly, I go lightning.
Yeah, you properly went like Brizzo, didn't
Yeah,
you?
not Bristol, Devon.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it's okay.
I mean, to the untrained southeast East Anglia ear, it's all southwest
yeah,
to me.
all right, okay. Yeah, fine, thanks.
Right. We haven't actually talked about the trailer at all. Just said it looks good.
And I think that's all we need to say. I think I quite like the story where Christopher Robin, he's older, he's having troubles at work. It looks like he's forgotten about Pooh and his friends and how he used to help them.
Yeah.
And now it's switched around, and now it's moving on to his daughter, which is actually really cool. Loved it in the taxi when he's like in there. And Pooh? Piglet?
Yeah,
Tigger?
yeah.
I love Tigger. Who doesn't want to be Tigger?
And the voices, I think the voice actors are the ones from the cartoon.
They sound very much like it.
Very good. That's a very good. You are basically Tigger, aren't you?
Oh, ouch. Ouch.
Ouch.
Yeah, I am Tigger.
You hate that though, right?
Only because I was called it in a meeting with somebody.
I heard about this. An official one. Yeah. Not cool.
No.
It's got a bit of a hook about it. Do you know what I mean? So in Hook, where Peter Pan has grown up and he's forgotten his past and he's sort of brought back in because of his kids. It's got that sort of pattern about it.
Yep.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
It looks fine. More than fine. It looks good.
It's got Christmas Day family movie in a couple of years written all over it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sit down at 3:20, just after the Queen's had a chat. Yeah. Boom.
I know some people might get a bit snooty about it and say like, it's cashing in on the sort of twee Britishness because you've had like the two Paddington films.
Mm-hmm.
There was another one, I can't remember what it was, that have done really well, like BFG, things like that. BFG didn't do very well, but that's sort of very classically English stuff. But I'm really okay about it. I love it.
Let's get it out there.
Exactly, yeah.
Why not?
I am fully on board.
Yeah.
Something else very classically English. Wow. Classically.
Yeah, that's like...
I tied it in.
Yeah, Sean Connery. Yeah. That is awesome. Can you do that, but say the word glockenspiel? Because it sounds just like...
Glockenspiel.
Yes, see? Yeah. Oh, my God.
Tennis? Oh, I haven't... No, hang on.
No, you lost
tennis,
it.
It's gone. It's gone.
Stop it.
Bond 25 is happening. We knew it was going to be happening, but it's kind of confirmed. Danny Boyle's going to direct it, and supposedly Daniel Craig is coming back.
Supposedly, I thought it was definitely.
Well...
Or is it...
For the last two Bond films, Daniel Craig has afterwards said, God, I hate being Bond. It takes so much effort. I'm so tired. I don't want to do it again. And now he's come back again. So...
I think he's a good Bond.
I think he's a good Bond. I think his films... They're fun. Mm-hmm. Casino Royale is great. Don't get me wrong. Casino Royale is a fantastic movie. Mm-hmm. I do think the rest of them are entertaining but bad stories. You don't like me right now, do you?
Okay, I'm listening.
No, I just think they get a little bit silly.
In what way?
The last one, was it Spectre, the last one?
Yeah, loved it.
Why did he have to be his half brother? And he drilled him in the head, and and then he like when they get away, they're pew pew with a tiny little gun, and everything blows up. And
okay, so
it was a bit silly.
Okay, I think that it's that superhero mentality of getting out there. Yeah. But I love the story about being half brother, and I know you, James, and I've known you this, and Bond didn't have an idea of this. I love the fact that he was trying to drill his head, and that's how then got the mark. Forgotten his name.
It's Donald Pleasance plays him. I can remember the actor. Okay. Donald Pleasance plays him originally, and it's Blofeld.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. I think Blofeld is brilliant. I love it. I could sit and watch that again now.
I think I just prefer when Bond just goes on a mission. This came up in a conversation with the Italian a while ago when we were talking about Mission Impossible.
Yes.
Mission Impossible 4 and 5 were just missions, whereas Mission Impossible 3 was about his wife. He's retired. His motivation was because he didn't want to do it because of his job. He wanted to do the things because it was his wife he was saving. And that's an interesting story, but I prefer the idea of he has a mission and he's a good person and does his job because he's a good person.
But what about all the small stories around it? The girl he falls in love with?
No, that's good. That's fine. But I prefer it when it's like, Bond, we've got a mission for you, go and do the mission.
Right, okay.
Which it used to be in the past.
All right, that's fair enough. But good news about Bond, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, they're really entertaining. Don't get me wrong, they're really entertaining movies.
Yeah.
You love them though, right? And now you hate me.
I don't know. The only Bonds that I don't really watch are the ones with Timothy Dalton in.
Which is strange because I think they're actually good now. I think when you look at them now, I think they're good. But I think back then they were a bit... Oof.
But, things change over time. I thought Roger Moore was the best Bond, and then...
I love Roger Moore.
But then I decided that Sean Connery was.
Yeah.
And then we've moved on from that. And then I found there was a George Lazenby. I mean, I'm talking about 20 years ago. I'm not talking about yesterday when I found this out.
I love it. Just on the internet, like, this
what?
guy was Bond?
I thought Daniel Craig's done all of the 25 films, or 24, sorry.
Yeah, I love it.
He just hasn't aged. He's amazing.
Just raging, just like chucking your laptop.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think it'd be good story. See what happens. Hopefully, it's going to follow on from Spectre.
See, I hope it doesn't follow on. I hope it's its own thing.
Okay.
Have you read any of the books?
Of course, I haven't.
Oh, that's a shame. They're really good.
Are they from books? Are they? I'm joking.
You're joking.
Yeah. Just fishing a little bit there.
He's like a heartless, stone cold killer, alcoholic, like monster in the books.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a really horrible person, but not horrible like.
Like the Punisher? The Punisher?
Yeah,
horrible?
he won't do like bad things unnecessarily. He'll do bad things that he needs to get the job done.
Dude's got a license to kill.
Exactly, that's the point. Yeah. Whereas I think it gets sort of softened in the movies a little bit. He's got license to kill, which is why I think Casino Royale was so good, because the opening when he has to kill the two guys, you really get a feel for what it took to get him to that place.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Spawn.
Right.
Spawn.
I'm going to be completely honest. Is this Marvel? Is this DC?
It's Image.
Right.
It's not either Marvel or DC.
Oh, goodness me.
So do you know there was a Spawn movie back in the 90s?
No.
Okay. You were like trying your desperate
hardest.
hardest.
I was trying to think of a film that I might have seen, but it's the one. I think we might have mentioned this before. It's got Natasha Hens.
Oh, you mean Species?
That's what I'm getting confused with.
Okay, so Spawn.
Sorry, listeners, I'm stupid.
Spawn? No, you're not at all. Spawn was a comic that was made. It was under the Image brand. It's a guy called Todd McFarlane who drew and wrote it, and he started out in Marvel.
Is he any relation to Seth MacFarlane? No. Right, okay, just checking.
So he did a lot of the very 90s Spider-Man stuff where you see him all sort of like twisted up and he's got massive eyes in his face. And then Spawn is kind of like a spinning out of that. They're not linked in any way story-wise, but in terms of style and content, it's very 90s. He's got this huge cape with this big collar and his huge eyes. And it's a sort of anti-hero story. The character of Spawn, I can't remember the name, the actual character's name, but he's a hitman, and he gets double crossed by his people, and goes to hell because when he gets killed, because he's a hitman, he's not a very nice person, and then in hell he is given the ability to be this enforcer for the devil. Right. I'm boiling it down to basics rather than what actually is in it. Yeah, cool. And then he comes back to Earth and he has all these powers. He has this. His cape can turn into all sorts of clever things. He can kind of fly with it, has chains, and he has flamey powers and stuff. It's mad. It's sort of batshit crazy, but it's
batshit crazy. That's cool. I like to hear that.
But I've read quite a lot of the early Spawn, and it's really fun. It's really fun. The 90s movie is really fun but terrible, like truly bad. And it's got Martin Sheen, Charlie Sheen's dad. He's in it. And the guy that plays Spawn in it, which I can see you're looking up now.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at all of this now.
You know, I'm pretty sure it's the guy that's in The Dark Knight who the black guy who's one of the mob bosses.
Michael J. White.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's him.
He's Spawn.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Can you click on him to see if I've got the right guy?
Yeah, hang on a minute.
Yeah, it is him, right?
I think so.
In Dark Knight, yeah. And he's quite good as Spawn. I quite like him. It's not a good movie.
No.
It's not. And
I'm almost tempted to just maybe watch a trailer later. But
you should, yeah.
Yeah. Is it like the classic sort of 90s hash up of some good comics that the movie made it absolutely rubbish?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, the news story is that Jamie Foxx is going to play Spawn in the new movie.
He's not a small actor, is he, by any stretch of the imagination?
And that is great news for the film because that will give it so much weight. / if it's terrible, it'll be bad for Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Because he was like the hottest actor in Hollywood at one time.
He was in loads of really good stuff, wasn't he? What was the film that he was in with Tom Cruise? Collateral,
great movie.
That was pretty good.
That was I think it was Michael Mann directed that. Did Last of the Mohicans and Miami Vice, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was that director.
Yeah, I think so.
Michael Mann.
Yeah. I'm just double checking on something because I thought yes he is. Now I don't know if you've ever seen a film called Any Given Sunday.
I'm aware of it. Oh no, I have seen it. It's the American football one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that when it came out many years ago.
Steaming Willie Beeman. Wow, what film! And Jamie Foxx was awesome in that as well.
Al Pacino.
Yeah. James Woods. All out there.
Yeah.
Al Pacino does like a massive, like brilliant speech for like 2 minutes talking about a game of inches to motivate the American football team. It is very motivational. If you listen to that and it doesn't motivate you, then I'm going to smack you in the face.
Fair enough. Seems fair.
Yeah.
So I'm actually quite excited for Spawn. I think it could be quite. I think we're in an age of superhero movies where things can be fun. They can be silly.
Yeah.
You know, and we're okay with it.
There's a lot coming out at the moment, isn't there?
There is.
I mean, it's sort of what? How many superhero films are we getting a year now?
Oh, there's like 5 a year or something at least. Yeah. You know, and they're team ones and single ones and stuff. And if this does well, it could come out with a lot of other stuff. One of the things about the movie though is that it's I believe it's being funded by Todd McFarlane, so it's a creator-owned comic. He owns the rights to all of that comic, and so he can do whatever he wants with it. And I'm pretty sure he's the one that's executive producing the movie, so he's putting a lot of backing into it because he believes in the character so much.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah, it's good news.
So it's going off on the right foot.
Yeah, because it's got the original creator behind it. So
so he knows how this character should work and be.
Yes, I mean the only downside is that maybe he's too close to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nice to have a different critical and creative take, but anyway, I'm happy. You happy?
I think I'm happy. I'm interested. You've kind of sold it to me a little bit.
Yeah.
I like it.
With my crazy description.
No, you just gave me a nice little bit of background.
There you go.
Hopefully that'll entice other listeners to go and watch it as well.
Yeah, go and watch the 90s movie and then realise that was a 90s movie and this will be better. Right, next piece of news. I think we might want to bring this up next week.
I think so, because I feel that Ben's going to bring a lot to the party for this.
It's rare, right?
Well, it is rare, but this is an opportunity for him. So this is the news where we have 2 main characters potentially leaving The Walking Dead.
So possibly spoilers if you want to skip ahead, if you're a Walking Dead listener and you watcher and you don't want to be spoilt.
So and I won't mention it. In fact, I won't mention it. But the fact is, I've caught up on The Walking Dead. I'm in there. I really enjoy it. You're not. And Ben's with me as well, so we can talk. I think it's better that Ben's going to be here, so we can have that conversation. Because you're just going to go, I don't really care.
Yeah, no, I don't care, but I think you guys can really tease a lot of stuff out of it.
Definitely.
The only thing I have to add is that the Italian watches it and likes it, Walking Dead, and I said to her,
waka waka waka.
But I said to her, there was a bit of news. Did you see it? And she said no. And I said, well, I'm not sure if I should tell you because I think it's spoilers. And she's like, oh, okay.
Is she up to date though?
No, she's not quite up to date. Yes.
Okay.
But anyway, but I said to her, do you want me to say? She said, no, not really. And then she started guessing, and I was like, well, it's that you've guessed it. And she's like, oh right, oh okay. So it is spoilers, and she wasn't really
ready.
She didn't want to know.
Oh, okay.
So
should we leave it there then?
Should we leave it there?
Should we just walk away?
Yeah.
I've just closed that book.
Nice.
Thanks very much.
Very good.
Yeah, it was a real book.
I felt that. I could feel the.
I would say it's like a real sort of like.
Yeah.
It's not a paperback. It's not like a hardback book that I just closed.
No.
No.
Like a portfolio type thing.
Yeah, portfolio. Oh goodness me.
Right, last bit of news. This ties into the topic for this week. So Solo is the topic we're talking about. Spin-off Star Wars movies. And we've been waiting a little while to find out what the next spin-off Star Wars movie will be, because we know we've got Episode 9 coming, and we know we've got a trilogy of movies coming from Rian Johnson, and we've got TV shows coming. But
I thought you were going to say TV shit then.
TV shit, yeah. But James Mangold, the director of Logan and many other good movies, Walk the Line, etc., stuff like that, has been announced. Well, it's been announced on Hollywood Reporter. Disney haven't reported it yet, but it is. Generally, that's a good source. James Mangold is going to write and direct. No, not write. He's going to direct a Boba Fett movie. Now, does that mean anything to you?
Yes, of course it does.
Excellent, good. What do you think?
He's the one in
about
Star
this?
Trek, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the one from Star Trek. Yeah, exactly. No. He's one of the Klingons.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's got.
Sorry, no. James Mangold will be writing, but he'll be co-writing with Simon Kinberg.
Right. Okay. I interested. massive character within the Star Wars universe.
Yeah. Fan favourite character.
Yeah, because he's so cool.
Yeah.
But we kind of know Boba Fett's origins from Star Wars Episode 3? 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, so where they're all cloned and things like that,
exactly.
and blah, 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 blah. So we kind of know like I said, his origin, but what's coming out from that.
But there's a big gap between Episode 2 and then when we see him in A New Hope is the first time you see him.
Oh, yeah.
He's briefly with Jabba.
Yes.
So there was a big gap there.
But, hang on, wasn't he, and isn't he in Rogue Story?
Rogue One?
Rogue.
Is he?
I don't know. I feel like I'm making it up because I want to.
He may be in it.
Yeah.
I don't remember much of Rogue One.
You didn't like it, did you?
It's okay. It's fine. So there is a big gap there because he was a kid at the end of Episode 2.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the period where they're going to do stuff with him. They haven't said what it's going to be. I kind of want to see it later because you know, do you remember in Return of the Jedi he gets thrown into the pit at the end?
Yeah.
Well, in the beginning, sorry. Yeah. Apparently he doesn't die. He gets out.
Does he?
There are lots of different versions of how he gets out. But I'm not sure what the canon story. But so that's not his end.
Right.
So I'm interested in like later stuff. I think that would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But as we know with Rogue One and Solo, the time period where we're getting a lot of stuff is in that gap between.
Yeah, and I like it. I do genuinely like it.
What, that era?
Yeah, I think it's nice, and it's all again. It's all. It's a bit like what Marvel are doing with all their films. There are gaps, and they're able to plug things into it. I mean, there's going to be a point when you can't stop. You're going to have to stop because there will be no gaps.
Well, we'll get to something on that in Solo in a second.
Oh, hello.
As long as it doesn't force it.
Yeah.
As long as it's like here's a story of what happened. That was my biggest problem with Rogue One. Was it felt it had to fit so neatly into A New Hope that it ended as A New Hope started. Mm-hmm. And I kind of would have preferred it just to be a story on its own that has links. Does that make sense? It was too much for me.
Okay.
No, you didn't mind?
No, I didn't. I genuinely didn't mind it. I thought it felt nice to just roll into that, and you get that bit. Then you could almost it's. I've just taken a little diversion off of the main Star Wars story.
Yeah.
Well, as I know it, I've got this little side story, which actually turned out to be really good, and then I've come back in, and I'm like, oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
It's like sticking your head out the window for a bit when you're going down.
Oh, you got a breeze coming through the face.
Oh,
yeah,
that's nice. That's nice. I'm ready to come back in now. Cool, done.
Right.
I'm cool. Great analogy.
That's great. You are full of great analogies.
I realised this the other day that every time I explain something to someone, I use an analogy.
And it's different every time.
I don't know. How can I make that? Wow, anyway, carry on.
I'm really happy about James Mangold being involved with this. He did Copland as well, which is one of my favourite films. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Nope. Sylvester Stallone as it's quite a few years old now, but in that he plays like he's a local sheriff who's at the end of his career, even though he's not that old at that point.
Yeah.
And it's got like De Niro in it, and
I have seen this once. I have seen this film, but if you were to test me on it, I wouldn't get anything.
It's a fantastic movie. It's a really, really great movie. There's no big action scenes or anything. It's a drama in every sense of the word. And I hope that he brings some of that to Boba Fett. And I want Boba Fett. A Star Wars film needs to be an action film. Don't get me wrong. James Mangold has proven he can do that with Logan. Logan was great.
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, it's good. It's very good. It's a little bit serious and a little bit gory.
Ooh.
But then it needs that sometimes.
What, Deadpool gory?
No, not quite as Deadpool.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I'm really keen for it. You?
Yeah, I'm excited. I like all Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
Hence why I went to the cinema for the very first time in my life last night to watch Solo by myself.
You went solo to see Solo. Very good.
Yeah. I've never done it before.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how dedicated I am.
You are dedicated. I don't think there's much more to talk about that. I think at some point we should do a podcast about future Star Wars movies that we'd like to see and what we'd like to see in them.
Oh, Good question. Yeah,
because
let's do that.
there's a lot of speculation on the internet that the Obi-Wan movie will be coming soon. So, and Ewan McGregor's a really good age where he can play the gap between when he was young and when he's played by Brain, Help, classic British actor who I should be able to say straight away off the top of my head.
And
but
I can picture his face. He's in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Oh my God.
This has been a tough day for us.
It
both.
really has.
Yeah.
Like really a lot. It's been a
George,
hard day. No. Why do I have
Alec
to look
Guinness.
so...
Yes,
Alec
I
Guinness.
win.
God, I hate
Yes,
myself.
yes.
Oh.
Ben would be so proud of me right now.
He's cheering for you. And everyone else is just thinking what a nerd. Oh, nerd?
Yeah.
What an idiot I am, sorry. Right, should we do nerd scene?
Let's do this.
Nerd scene.
Do you know what's ironic about this bit? Is I'm going to explain what nerd scene is, and then I'm going to talk about a show called Explained. Nerd scene is a play on words because we're nerds.
Yes.
And scene is a thing that like it can mean like that you've watched something or you've viewed it, but it's also spelled differently. Can be like a part of a play or a story.
Right.
So it's a play on those words. Nerd scene.
Right.
The things that we've watched and some content.
Is it spelt the same then? Or is
No,
it like R and there?
No, it's spelled differently. See, that's why it's a clever play on the words.
Oh.
See, and I spell it Nerdscene, but you could quite easily spell it Seen.
Ah.
I wonder how... That's interesting. I wonder how many of our listeners think I spell it Nerd Scene as opposed to Nerd Scene.
Yeah. Good.
Moving on.
Yeah.
So I watched an episode of ... Explained.
Okay.
You wouldn't know what this is because it's on Netflix.
Hashtag James still hasn't got Netflix.
I only watched one episode of it, and I intend to watch the rest. I think they're weekly. It's a little bit like an extended YouTube video explaining what something is.
Right.
And I just thought, I've got 20 minutes to kill. I'll put something on, and I thought, I explained that looks like fun. And so it starts, and then it has the title card, and it says explained, and then it puts a word comes up in front of it. So the next one to watch, which I really want to see, is called Monogamy Explained. I haven't watched that one yet.
Right.
But this one was called K-pop Explained. Do you know what K-pop is?
Oh, please tell me.
I didn't know what it was either. It's Korean pop.
Really?
And apparently it's massive. There are people listening to this right now who are like, yeah, of course it's massive, you idiots.
Yeah, but are they our age?
No,
actually,
we're old.
you're considerably younger than me.
That's true.
So
I am.
you should know.
I should, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a really interesting 20-minute documentary about quite a lot of it was focusing on this band called Sotaji and the Boys, or
Right.
Sotaji and Boys, I think they're called. And they were like New Kids on the Block for Korean pop.
What?
And it was back in the 90s. And then a lot of stuff came out of that. And now it's an institution, and it's a little bit like, I'm doing a very bad service to this because you should go and watch the show.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like the constructed boy bands and girl bands that we have.
Right.
And the whole point of it is that they are constructed and they are clean cut, good, honest people who sing about things like love and pop band stuff.
Okay.
But it's all super bright and colourful. It's all crazy aesthetics. They wear things like ski clothes and big gloves. It's so big that people wear the clothes they wear. Like in South Korea, people were walking on the street wearing these huge ski mittens in summer because there was a big band HOT, they were called, a band that did it, and they just they're massive in South Korea, and the South Korean government realised how big it was, and they have a government initiative to increase culture and tourism and to get K-pop into the Western world so that people come over and see it.
This is cool.
It was really interesting, and I really want to see the rest of these explain shows because in 20 minutes I learnt so much about this one topic.
So it looks, as you were talking, and I was intently listening.
You weren't.
I'm multitasking.
Yeah,
I
well
do
done.
this all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. These type of shows look like absolutely brilliant because it's answering questions that you may have. I mean, or if you want to be cool and hip, go on here and have a look at K-pop.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And it's kind of like the show Explained is kind of like a YouTube black hole that you didn't know you wanted to fall into, but you do.
Right.
Like, because there's stuff on there you're like, well, I'm not sure I ever needed to know about that, but now I've watched it. I love that I know about that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Look at this. Designer DNA.
Exactly. What does it mean? What is it?
Who would know that this was even going on?
Exactly.
I'm in.
Great little show.
I'm not Netflix.
No.
I can't be in.
Anyway, I really...
Damn Netflix.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's just 20 minutes of it. I really enjoyed.
Is the Italian in with this as well?
No, she wasn't watching it. She was.
Okay.
She was. I think she's up at her parents'.
All right, cool.
So. Right, next thing though I want to talk about. I will talk very briefly about it, and it's the complete opposite end of the spectrum. But it is from Netflix. It was 13 Reasons. 13 Reasons Why, season 2. One of the most horrific things I've ever seen on TV, and I hate the fact that my Netflix subscription went to it. The last episode is truly horrible. Both the Italian and I looked at each other after one scene and we both said we felt sick. I genuinely thought I was going to throw up. It is horrible. And it's not horrible good. It's bad.
And we're not going to talk about it.
Anyone that's thinking about watching it, don't. It's a 15 certificate. It should be an 18.
You're strong about this.
Yeah, I am. I don't believe it should have had what happened in it. It's for shock value rather than for trying to be open and honest. Now, I spoke a little bit about the first couple of episodes a couple of weeks back, and I have enjoyed season 2 when it does new content. It did a lot of trying to fill in the gaps of season 1, going flashbacks. I didn't like any of that stuff, and then the last episode happened, and I thought it was horrid, and I used that in every way.
Are we talking about the bathroom scene?
Yes, I am talking about the bathroom scene. Really shocking, really not necessary, excessive. Really, I'm sorry. There'll be people listening to this who think I'm an idiot, but I genuinely didn't think it was needed or required, and it's really awful.
Okay.
Really awful.
So are we moving on from this?
Yeah, I'm really, and I checked Twitter afterwards, and there are pages and pages and pages of people who agree with me on this.
Really?
Really excessive.
I'm going to read up on it.
I think you should.
Offline.
Because it started this conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. And it kind of leads into what I watched, actually.
Yes, please do tell us.
So I watched recently Paterno, which is an Al Pacino film, or HBO film, where it talks about how he was a former football coach at Penn State University. It talks about his career leading up to a point where he was dismissed because of the university's child sex scandal.
Oh my God, horrific.
Yeah. And it really opens up and asks you some moral questions about what to do. I think Al Pacino's portrayal of this character was good.
Is it a new film? Is it when
it's an HBO drama thing that they just released.
Oh, okay.
Now, he wasn't the person doing the abuse, but he was made aware of it.
Right, okay.
And he basically followed his chain of command. But the moral question here is, you follow your chain of command and then you do something else.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And I think he was so, how can I put it? He was so focused on his football and being the best that he can that maybe he just didn't think like that.
Right.
And towards the end, so hashtag spoilers here, towards the end, he's having a conversation with his wife. His wife said, well, if you knew, because it was his colleague that did this, if you knew this, you wouldn't have let him into the pool with our kids. So they were on holiday. Al Pacino's character, Joe Powell, was busy getting ready for a game, and his colleague was then in the pool. It then finishes with somebody ringing up a reporter and saying that it's a brand new timeline and that Joe Parr, Al Pacino's character, would have known.
Right.
He then, once he got dismissed, he then died 2 months later through cancer.
Oh my God.
So, but yeah, it's really, I thought it was interesting. It touches on a very serious subject, obviously.
Yeah. But I like that you're saying it asks you questions, moral questions. What would you do type thing?
Yeah, and I mean, and there's no excuse, in this day and age of at any time actually of child abuse being acceptable. But he's just not. I genuinely don't think he's thinking. He's like, no, that's my friend. There's no way. I mean, people, yeah.
Okay, so it not necessarily child offences, but it ties back into, say, like the Harvey Weinstein, because that has been going on for so many years, and it's now proven because he submitted guilt in court. People would have known.
Yeah.
You know, his best friend or very close friend, Quentin Tarantino, said, "Oh, I didn't know anything about it," and then he's like, "Well, maybe I did."
Yeah, there are things. You know, when you play things back in your mind, you're going, "That was obvious."
Yeah.
You know, I'm just trying to remember what his colleague was called. it's Jerry something or other.
Right.
But they like set up to help underprivileged children,
right,
and things like this, and
right.
you're just kind of like, alarm bells are ringing, and people trying to cover it up, and how do we deal with this scandal? And they just should have just got it. The police were involved.
But then I suppose the other side is hindsight is a wonderful thing, and when you're in it, maybe you do dismiss it like, "Oh, that's just Joe," you know, like.
But so it wasn't Joe that did it.
No, I'm
Jerry,
saying,
but what also is that his character was an institution himself at Penn State University.
Okay.
You know, he was there like, the football team's important, but my team are also going to graduate. So he was so well regarded and looked up on that when the college actually sacked him, it caused riots on the university.
Right, so his reputation was bigger than him.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it's massive.
Right.
But
sounds really interesting.
It was. I think there are a few times where I think it gets a little bit, the movie confuses itself. There's lots of flashback scenes and things like that, and I think that could have been done differently.
Okay.
But I found it interesting.
It's done enough to get you to think about it more. Yeah,
absolutely.
Cool.
All good.
Should we talk about Solo?
Yes.
Should we go a bit more light-hearted than what we've been doing
brilliant.
recently? All right. Before that, should we listen to what Ben has to say about it? Well, I'll play it through my laptop, and then I'll edit it in later, so you guys can. That was the little bling of my laptop sound. Right, here we go. Let's have a listen.
Emily Clark.
It's a great. However, I really, really like the adventure aspect of the story. I like the fact that it's fast-paced, nothing ever sort of stops. There's always something happening. I think the action set pieces are really, really well done. The train heist being a standout. There's some emotion in this when Beckett's girlfriend sort of sacrifices herself for the mission, which then doesn't work anyway. I think that Alden Ehrenreich's solo is really, really well done. I think he plays it very, very well, plays it smartly. Donald Glover, the scene where he is introduced as Lando Calrissian, he actually sounded like Billy D. Williams playing Lando Calrissian, and then you saw him. He was great. He was enigmatic. He had a lot of capes. Some were custom designed. I thought he was a lot of fun. The new guy playing Chewie, the Swedish guy, Marcus, I remember his name, I can't remember. I thought he did good Chewbacca. I thought the bad guy, the second in command, who you thought was the leader of the Crimson Dawn, played by the Vision, Paul Bettany. I thought he was, okay. His face lights up when he gets angry. That's great. But I didn't think much of him. The zinger, and now spoilers for this movie if you've not seen it, what are you doing? The introduction of Kira
Right. Well, can I just say that I am sorry that you had to be inflicted with that, listeners. I mean, he's such an idiot.
And what was the clicking in the background? Was that his fingers?
He's driving.
Right,
He's
okay.
driving, so he's on holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was his very old birthday recently. I agree with a lot of what he said there. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's mostly a very good film. What did you think about it?
I enjoyed it. I thought that the story was great.
Agree.
I thought, you're playing a character that we all love and know as being played by Harrison Ford. I thought that was a great job.
I think he did a lot. I don't think he sounded like him, but that didn't matter.
Well,
he looked like him and he moved like him.
Yeah, and I think if he sounded like him, I think
weird.
that would have been a bit weird. A bit like Uncanny Valley.
Yeah,
That would've been
absolutely.
weird.
Yeah,
I'd been uncomfortable.
I thought
Why try to recreate Harrison Ford's voice?
Exactly.
You may as well have just made Harrison Force. Harrison Force?
Harrison Force.
Yeah, it's like with the Harrison Ford look younger, as they've
Yes.
done in like Ant-Man with Michael Douglas and stuff
Exactly,
like that.
yeah,
You
yeah.
may as well have just done that.
I'm totally okay with recasting him. I also think I would be okay if they recast the other leads from Star Wars if they wanted to do other ones. If they had a young Luke played by someone else, if they had a young Leia played by someone else, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, I think this movie has given us that chance to go there, because I think the job was it was good. It was great.
It was
nice.
It was really he was charismatic.
Yes. I did really enjoy the story.
I did enjoy the story. I liked that it was its own little story that didn't necessarily need to be shoehorned into the rest of it. There were shoehorns of stuff. There was like, here's the rebellion starting. And
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Do you want to join the rebellion? Yeah, I want to be a fighter pilot. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
There was and then as Ben has already mentioned about the reveal at the end.
Yeah.
That was nice.
There's only one problem with that.
Go on.
This is massive spoilers for Rebels, the TV show Rebels.
Right. Okay.
Darth Maul dies in Rebels.
Right.
So, by putting him in the movie, you kind of don't have a threat necessarily because you know that he will survive and get to another point in the story. Do you know what I mean?
So how does it fall in with episode 1 then?
So this is late. So in episode 1, he gets cut in half, but he doesn't die. He falls into the pit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then throughout the Clone Wars, he gets these like robot spider legs.
Cool.
And he fights Obi-Wan Kenobi again, and they have different battles and stuff. And he's shunned by the Emperor, so he's no longer a Sith Lord. He's just an evil Force wielder. Mm-hmm. So he's not against the Jedi per se. And then later on, he loses some of the legs. He's got a brother, which is very similar to him, I think, or he might be blue or yellow or something. I didn't see Clone Wars. And then he has 2 robot legs, which is why you see him with robot legs in this one. So when he's sitting there, his legs are robotic.
Are they?
Yeah.
Really?
You have to go back and watch it again.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even notice that.
So this is after episode 1, clearly, because
I am having such an education right now. I did not pick up on this. Thank you.
But before Rebels, which is a TV show which is set just before A New Hope.
Okay.
So it's somewhere in that gap.
So Darth Maul is, at this point, when we see him in Solo, he has been shunned by...
Yes, yeah.
So, and he's just setting up a crime syndicate.
Exactly right.
He's becoming a crime lord.
That's what he's doing. In fact, apparently he's trying... I haven't seen the Clone Wars TV show. I hear it's very good. Rebels is very good. But what he's doing is apparently trying to set up this massive crime empire so that he can get back in favour with the Emperor.
Oh, right,
but the Emperor's like, nah, I've got like Darth Sidious. Oh no, I've got like what was his name? Count Dooku.
Yeah, I love Count Dooku.
And Grievous, and then Vader. Like he's not interested in Maul anymore.
I've upgraded.
But Maul is such a great character. I mean, he's in this movie for like a minute, and we're talking about him more than anything else.
Yeah. Well, I think we're talking about him because I'm being educated.
No, I know.
But it was nice. It was a lovely touch.
It was the right sort of link that I felt.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, I know that guy. Cool. And it fits in, you know? Mm-hmm. What did you think of Kira?
I thought she was all right.
Yeah.
I would like to have known a little bit. I didn't pick up on the story of how she got off Corellia.
Yeah, I didn't either. I think she just maybe because she was kind of in a crime thing and then started out.
But then she became double R'd.
Yeah. I didn't like. I felt like their whole first scene
Yeah.
was a little bit like rushed, but I think it was just so that we could get into the story.
Yeah.
And on reflection, I'm glad it was rushed so that we could get to the story.
Yeah.
But when I first got into it, I was like, oh my God, this is going too fast.
Yeah, I must admit, I didn't like the start of it, the big worm thing.
Yeah. But it's just a Star Wars thing, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but it could have been done differently. I don't know. I just didn't see the point of having a massive centipede that lives out of water, comes out of water.
I guess it was just trying to be a bit different.
Maybe.
It's trying to be a bit Jabberish. Do you know Jabba the Hutt's got like a weird slug type thing? It's like a version of that.
But I like the car chase.
Yeah, car chase was great.
Yeah.
I liked that it was like floaty. You know, like when they were spinning around corners, they like drifted, but like more different to a car. It felt right. It felt good. I really like him. I really like her. I loved Chewie in this movie. I thought Chewie was the standout. Chewbacca was just my favourite bit of this film.
In what way?
I just thought he's a guy in a mask who doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
He speaks Wookiee.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. But I got so much character from him, and he's always a side character. He's always in the background, but he felt important. He felt like I believed their interactions.
But that's their first partnership, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're becoming friends.
And I loved it when he got put in the pit, and they were like, feed him to the beast. And I leaned over to tell him, went, that'll be Chewbacca.
I didn't know. I was kind of like, is it? Isn't it? And then you saw him walking out. And that was brilliant.
Brilliant. I loved how it was done.
The fact that Han was able to speak Wookiee.
Yes.
Okay.
So funny. That is so funny.
Do you know what? But then I always find it a little bit annoying after a while that when Chewie speaks, that Han then has to reiterate everything he says.
I know what you mean. He like says it back to him. Like,
yeah, and because everyone's looking, and it's like you're just saying that. And I go, yeah, he just said it back to you.
Yeah.
That just at times that was too much. Just got too much.
So like the line where he says he's 170 years old,
Yeah.
190 years old.
Oh my God.
You're 190?
Yeah.
Like,
how did you do that?
Yeah. I guess that would work if Kira said to him, what did he say?
Yeah.
Rather than...
But everybody knows that they don't understand it. So he has a natural thing to say that. It's kind of like, you know... So it's difficult for me to say that he played the Wookiee really well.
I loved it. I really loved it.
Beast. He's a lovable character.
But I just liked the way, like, I believed him.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's what I mean. I believed it. I didn't believe it was a man in a suit. As soon as I saw it, I was like, it's MF Chewbacca.
And how about when he sees other Wookiees in the mine?
Yeah, great. You know,
yeah, you got to do your thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it was yeah.
I really liked that. I really liked Chewbacca in it. I'm going through a list. There's a list on comicbookmovie.com of some story points. I'm sort of flicking through them, and on Ben's point about Tandy Newton was in this.
Yeah, she was brilliant.
She was, and she was out of it quickly.
She was underused.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
I was like, she's great. Where's this going? And then I was like, what?
Yeah.
But then I guess you had to start up a new crew.
Yes, absolutely.
But I liked her character. But from what I saw, I really liked it.
You've hit the nose on the head. There was a point where I was like, there's a lot of people here, and how are we going to get this involved? And how is he going to be the pilot? And then when the train scene started, which again, I really loved the train scene, I was sort of thought to myself, right, well, the monkey guy's got to die so that he can be the pilot.
The monkey guy?
Yeah, you know the guy,
but he's not really a monkey guy.
Yeah, but he's a little bit like a monkey, isn't he?
Well, he's okay.
He's a monkey with 6 arms or 4 arms or whatever.
But yeah, kind
he jumps around a little monkey-ish.
Okay.
You don't.
You're actually doing the monkey arms as well. Oh my goodness! What are you, some sort of?
No, I know, but he had to die so that Han could be the pilot.
Yeah.
But when Tandy Newton died, I was shocked.
Yeah, I was a little bit.
Oh man, that train scene.
I think it was absolutely brilliant. The fact that the train, the track, the trains are moves from going up right to side.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Someone's thinking about that, and I want that brain.
And it looked great, didn't it? There wasn't a point where you were like, oh, this is rubbish CGI. Like, it really looked good.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like an old school chase, an old school like in
like a heist.
In the Wild West, you got your horses, you're getting on there.
Spot on. It was exactly like that, and I really loved it.
And that's what Star Wars is, though, isn't it? Star Wars is like being in the Wild West.
Yes, absolutely.
Technology everything doesn't look polished. They're saying that the inside of the Millennium Falcon was looking pristine.
I love that it got wrecked in this movie.
Of course it did.
going into this, you see the trailer, you see it all beautiful, and you're like, well, how is it ever going to get to the point later on?
I was getting nailed.
But I love that they did it. They're just like, we're doing it in one scene. Like
Yeah.
it's just done.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'll get to that. In a sec. I just wanted one other thing I wanted to say before we get to that, and it will tie back to that.
Yeah.
The Imperials in it, so the Empire in it,
Yeah.
are not really. They're not really the threat. They're not really the bad guys.
No.
And they're not referenced very much.
Nope.
He joins the academy and then he leaves. So he's
Yeah.
kind of there with them a little bit. They try to stop him from. They try to stop them on the train.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they're doing the Kessel Run, they appear at the entrance.
I love the Castle Run.
And that's what I was going to say. Yeah. So I quite liked that it was just that we knew, and the filmmakers were brave enough to assume we knew
Yeah.
that the Empire's the bad guy, and they don't need to be explained. You don't need to see Darth Vader stomping around. You know when a Star Destroyer comes up, you're like, oh shit, it's the Empire. But you don't need it explained to us.
No.
And that was cool. I really liked that bit.
Yeah,
Where I
yeah.
was just like, yep, TIE fighters.
Yeah, yeah,
And then the Kessel Run.
it's cool.
Oh, it's so cool. I really liked this film. I really did.
I did. I'd go and see it again.
I would go. I said the same thing. I said I would see this film again. I thought the thing about the Kessel Run having to be that you have to maneuver through the like
It's
tunnel.
void, I think.
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it was.
But actually, he did it in the quickest time because he did it in the shortest distance. Oh, it's great. And they're like the space monster inside the field. Oh, I liked all that. I liked.
Space Monster for me was a little bit of esque of.
You can say like the Phantom Menace or something.
No, Return of the Jedi when they're is it Return of the Jedi when they're flying away and they're all in the Millennium Falcon. He turns off his power.
Oh, and they go inside the
worm. Is that
yeah? It's Empire Strikes Back. Yeah. But you can. I think that's on purpose because there's a lot of. It's a bit like that. They got to fly through an asteroid field type thing, and there's a monster. There's another thing from Rebels in quite an important bit in Rebels, although you don't realise it's important towards the end. There are like space whales in Rebels that they're creatures that live in the vacuum of space.
Yeah.
So I quite like that the film has creatures like that because that's just a kind of cartoony thing, and you think, oh well, that's just for cartoons. But now they're saying no, actually that does happen as well. I suppose you said it as well with the space worm in the asteroid, but
I think it was. I like the bit where Chewie. I like the age thing. That when that age comes out, like how do you know to do that? And then Emily Clark's character just like sits back and then they're in, and you're just like, boom, this is where it started.
It's a great moment, right?
It's like, yeah. And Lando's there with like my ship. I loved the character.
I was just going to say, should we talk about Lando and L3?
Yes, please.
So Lando was great.
Mm-hmm. Charismatic.
Yes.
Would you want him to be your friend? Probably no, because I think he's a bit of a prick.
No.
But I liked it.
I liked that he... I don't think I'm going to say a bad thing about this film. I'm going to carry on saying how much I liked it. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep saying the words I like. Okay.
All right, I like.
I liked that he seemed completely in control of the situation, completely cool and calm and knew what he was doing. And then slowly you figured out this guy's a scumbag. Like he knew that the Millennium Falcon was clamped but didn't tell anyone until he got there. And then like, oh, you have to deal with this. He was cheating at cards.
Yep.
And it wasn't apparent until later on. And like, I really liked that that is the Lando we know from the other films. He was a jerk. He handed them in to Darth Vader, and then slowly he realised that the good thing to do is to help.
Come on, Hanno, buddy, don't let me down.
It's good. And L3, I thought was really annoying to begin with, and I completely fell in love with her character, the robot.
I agree to disagree.
Okay.
I thought that she was just a little bit annoying. And then there's the weird conversation about Lando being in love with her.
Perfect.
No,
it was so funny.
No, it's awkward. It's really awkward. It is funny, the fact that, how does that work?
Yeah,
Lando wants a piece
it
of it.
Works.
And then you obviously see the bond that Lando and L3 have.
Yeah, that's what I mean, and I believed it. You know,
but I don't know whether there was a comedy moment when he tried to lift her up and like ripped her in half.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I was not too sure about that.
It was weird. It could have been funny, but it also could have been quite traumatizing.
Yeah.
It was like, is that funny? I don't know. And she's part of the Millennium Falcon now.
Yeah.
So that's now why the Millennium Falcon's such a great ship.
Yep.
Because it's actually a she, and it's got her navigational charts in it. And
Okay. Yeah. It was a great movie.
it really was. It's not doing well, apparently, the box office.
I thought, I can never say his last name. Is it Woody Harrelson?
Harrelson.
Yeah. I thought he was pretty good.
He was great. Yeah.
Good character.
I guessed he was going to double cross quite early on, I think, because he kept saying, don't trust anyone.
Yeah.
People never change. All these things.
When I'm watching movies, sometimes my brain clicks in and I'm thinking ahead. With certain movies, I just like to turn my brain off. So I didn't know there was going to be the double cross. I didn't think about that because Ben would be looking at me with like high eyebrows and they're going, "What are you talking about?" It was blatantly obvious.
But because even in chess, they had the chess scene, and he's like, "You've got to plan 3 steps ahead."
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
So you're going to do something, right?
I suppose I'm just in awe of seeing things like that. The Millennium Falcon or whatever it might be. But yeah, that character. I thought that character was great. Interesting about the Resistance.
Yes, I was about to say Enfys Nest.
Sorry, am I just leading this on?
You
are.
You are teeing me up perfectly.
Or am I? Who needs Ben?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I really liked the design of Enfys Nest, and I liked that they were seen to be the bad guys.
Yeah. But
actually turned it on its head as to what their motivations were, because they wanted all that fuel.
Yep.
To fund the rebellion, and again, I liked that it was a subtle nod to the rebellion. It wasn't a subtle nod; they mentioned it, but it didn't need to be. By the way, we're the thing that fights against the Empire in the next few films.
Yeah.
It was we're starting something.
Yeah,
that's all it was. It was a mention of it, and it was enough. And I really liked that the leader was a female.
Yes,
that's great. We need to do more of that in films. She was a strong character. You believed in her. She was young, that was great. It was just a really nice, interesting twist.
Yeah.
And I think they'll do more with her character in spin-off films.
Yeah.
If they don't, then they've missed a trick.
Yeah, I think you're great.
What do you think? What did you think of Dryden Voss, Paul Bettany's character, the bad guy? Ben didn't like him.
No, but Ben referenced him as the Vision.
Yeah.
So maybe he's thinking about him as a Vision. He sounds the same.
Yeah.
Because it's the same person, but. It was okay as a baddie.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, I mean, he's dark. He was manipulative.
Yeah.
He's got his people. If he wants to kill you, he's going to kill you.
He had a Pacino-esqueness about him, I thought, where he was calm, and then hits like 60 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour instantly.
Yeah.
And only looking back at it do I realise why he has all those scars on his face. Because it's like Darth Maul, right? All the lines all over him, and he works for Maul. So he looks a little bit like Maul.
Yeah. So what, Maul's done those to him?
I don't know if he's done it to him, or if it's just for us as audience members to go to think, why has he got all those horrid lines on him? Because they're they're straight lines and they're patterns, aren't they? You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I really liked him. I liked all of this movie apart from the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I want to see more. I really like him as Han.
Han.
Sorry, guys, just had to pause that then. We're back now. Summing up the movie, what did we think?
I'm going to watch it again.
I'm going to watch it again as well.
And I might go and watch it. I'd like to go and watch it with you and Ben.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And we could maybe come to your house.
Maybe.
Yeah, and have a curry, and then we'll go and watch it, or watch it then have a curry, or something.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. In summary, good movie.
Brilliant movie.
Should go and see it.
Oh, hang on. What about the ratings? What are you going to give it a rating?
Really good.
Out of 5?
Really good out of 5.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to give it 4 out of 5.
Cool.
It's big bromance. Let's love this.
Right, we would normally end this by saying how people can get in contact with us, but
Ben's not here.
So you just search Nerds Chatting?
Yeah, you do that. I think you can get it on Spotify.
Yeah.
And you can
iTunes,
download it. Yeah, from other places.
Yeah. Next week we're going to do some Jurassic World stuff, maybe?
That would be cool.
Yeah, cool. Right, thanks for listening, everybody.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.